Makes me happy with a smile from cheek to cheek. If feeling fancy, that's where I'm gonna be. 'Cause now I'm shining, I'm hiding. I got a good thing on repeat. No, I can't hide it. And there's nothing that will sleep on. I got all the magic in me. It ain't never gonna leave, ain't never gonna leave, no. I got all the magic in me. It ain't never gonna leave, ain't never gonna leave, no. Anything can
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Hey, hey, hey. I'm always dancing. I love that song, Pretty People. Well, tonight I want you to meet one of my prettiest friends. She is pretty on the outside and oh, so pretty on the inside. Happy Tuesday. Happy October. Happy Pink Table Talk. I just want you to hit me in the chat. Like, what's the temperature where you are? Are you in a place that the temperature has changed? Like, this is the first time I actually could have worn long sleeves. Like, I actually could have. We're getting rain in Northern California, which is a big deal. Leah knows that it's a big deal to have rain in Northern California. Like, watch those crazy people driving. This is a happy place to be. I want to thank you for coming to Pink Table Talk, episode 38. And we are talking about just all things Leah Carta today. She is an amazing leader in our company. She's an amazing mama, amazing wife, and an amazing friend. And so, Leah, welcome to the Pink Table. Hello. Hey, girl. Hey.
Katrina, I'm super jealous because we're having fake fall over here in Texas because we wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, it's going to be a cool day. And we put on our sweaters and then we are sweating by 10 a.m. So, but I'm going to be out in California this weekend, so I will pack some sweaters. Gladly, I will.
It's cool. Yeah, it is so cool. Of course, it's still, my mom wanted the heat on, but I still have the air conditioning on upstairs. Could be maybe or maybe not because of my age. Okay. But I'm telling you, it could change up. Well, I am so glad that you're here. Thank you. It's a joy for us to connect this way. Of course, true friends, and I got to share with your area, and I'm thankful for you sharing. Many people that are watching or that will watch hashtag replay are like, oh my gosh, I know Leah and I love Leah. But for our audience that is here, who is Leah Carta? Like, for those who may not know you, how do your friends and family describe you?
Oh, that's such a great question. So I'm a homeschooling mama of three. We also have a multi-generational household. So my grandfather, who's about to turn 97, if you walk down a little stone pathway, he lives in a little casita right outside of our house. So he is with us full time. And I think personality wise, I'm a little bit of a hot mess express in this season of life. So, just if anyone can relate to that, I'm a piler, not a filer in this season. So, but it's just kind of where we're at. Like the kids are young. We are a theater family, so we have a lot going on. And that's where I'm so thankful for Mary Kay because my pink bubble allows me to do all the things.
I love that. I so totally love that. Um, I know I think of you as I know you say piler, not filer, and Hot Mess Express. Like all of us can relate to that. As I said to my girlfriend before I got on, I said, I know I'm gonna look good from the top up, but I already got my PJ pants on the bottom. All I gotta do is make it match. So in a couple moments, I will be here and be back to the pile that I left to see what I could do with on my bed. And so we just love that we can embrace this season of life. I'm not in the same season you are, but with 14 grandkids, as my husband just went to Chicago yesterday, I was like, here, take these underwear to your grandson. That we found on the floor in the corner from a couple months ago. So all of that, it's so fun, right? So I know you are super strategic, you're super loyal, and you have such a big heart. Where did that come from? Was it something you learned growing up? Is that just naturally who you are? Grandparents, mama, daddy, like where'd that come from?
That is a good question. I think it came from my mom. My mom was always looking for ways that she could make other people feel important. She was like my version of Mary Kay before I knew Mary Kay. And that's probably why Mary Kay resonated with so much with me because my mom operated in the same fashion. And so it was always about how can you make other people feel important? How can you make people feel seen and doing it in a creative way? So she gave me that. Like one of my strength finders is individualization, which means I'm really good at tailoring like memories or gifts towards someone's personality or who they are. And I definitely get that from her because she modeled that.
Wow, that is so cool. So amazing. And I have been on the other end of reaping that and watching how you just love on others. I know that you shared a lot about your mom and how she played, of course, a huge role in your life and the influence that she has. You were forced to kind of grow up early, losing your mom at a young age, and just how she shaped you as a woman and how you had to take on the responsibility, so many more responsibilities at a young age. Can you talk to us about that and how that has just shaped your life?
Yeah, it's wild to me just the sovereignty of God, right? When we talk about the sovereignty of God and how his plans are perfect. Because when I came into Mary Kay, I wasn't looking for a lifestyle change. I was looking for some quick cash because I was broke, 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 broke. I was young, newly married. I got married at 19 and I don't have like a crazy marriage story, Katrina. Like, nothing scandalous. We were just crazy and in love and said, let's do this. And so we were really broke. And so Mary Kay initially was just extra part-time cash. It was actually my mom who I ran it by and said, do you think I should do this? And my mom's exact words were, you would go to the top of that company, Leah. Why didn't we think of that before? So she saw that before I did. And then 6 months later, she had passed away. And I remember just coming home that night after just shock and all the things and realizing, my mom was a single mom. So we were now going to have to take care of my siblings full time. She did not have life insurance. Like there was so many components to the situation where I could breathe and just go, okay, Mary Kay. Like I realized I could not go to my job and say, hey, listen, life has happened. I need like a $4,000 a month raise to, make life work for all of us. But I could do that in Mary Kay. I could sit down with a piece of paper and I could map it out with my director and make a plan. And that's exactly what I did. And so all of the doors opened. And so that's one of my favorite things about Mary Kay is that you can shift what you need this to be very quickly.
That's amazing. What are some of the, just looking back on that season, what are some of the leadership skills, or, where did you get your strength from, and how did you just manage your life? Like, how did you how did you navigate through that season?
So I try to be very future focused because I think sometimes, especially Katrina, I know you can agree with me on this, like COVID was great in the sense that it taught us to like rest a little bit more. I think we all took that out of that, like, let's slow down a little bit, let's rest. But I also saw the culture overcorrecting. And so we kind of, some of us lost a little bit of like the hard work, hard work pays off touch. And it was like an overcorrection. And so I always try to think future focused because I can get into the mindset of like, oh, I'm tired today, when really like I can push through that. But there might be another season where I can't push through and I need this to work for me when I'm not working. And
Mhm,
so I always refer to, so like I'm 40 years old right now.
mhm,
What decisions can I make today? What choices can I make today that 45-year-old Leah will thank 40-year-old Leah for? And I
mhm,
remember doing that as a young woman when I was 21, 22 and Mary Kay. I would say, what decisions and choices do I need to make that 30-year-old Leah will be grateful for? And 30-year-old Leah didn't know that her grandparents would be moving in. 30-year-old
mhm,
Leah didn't know that she'd be homeschooling her kids one day. Like, so many things. And so that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned early on in Mary Kay was to have that mindset. And that way I could push through days where I was tired, because was my hard really hard, or was I just making excuses?
mhm. Yeah. So you were already married when you came into Mary Kay?
Mhm.
Already, okay. So you were so young again. So what was it that made you say yes? Like, were you working before? What was your life like before?
Yeah. So, I mean, I joke and say that I'm a hot mess express. It's just because of this season right now, but I love a good spreadsheet. And
Mhm,
so, I just needed extra cash. So I started researching other direct selling companies, and I knew I was not going to do Mary Kay because I did not fit this stereotype that I thought a Mary Kay girl should be. I mean, uh, the fact that I'm wearing a pink shirt with cheetah print right now is astonishing to me because that was not at all like, I mean, I would take, remember the Wet n Wild? I think they still have it, the Wet n Wild, cosmetics, like, they would have a
uh-huh,
99-cent sparkle lip gloss. That's what I would put on my eyelids for, like, a date night. So, like, it did not fit the mold. So I started breaking down all the compensation plans, Katrina, and nothing compared to Mary Kay, not even close. The thing that stuck out the most was, here was a company that the person at the bottom, which would be me at that time, made the same commission as the top number one person in our company. There was no other company that had a model like that, and that blew my mind. And so,
mhm,
I was too scared to start, so the second best company at the time was Pampered Chef, and I told my husband, and he reminded me that I had blown up 3 toaster ovens that year, and so he said that probably was not the best fit. And thank God I listened to him. So that's when I called my mom, and my mom was like, "Leah, you have to do this. You would go to the top of Mary Kay." And so I did, and that's what was so funny about it is I really want people to know, I think sometimes we think of, like, your Mary Kay girl as, like, cute, or you see Katrina and I with our cute glasses and our cute what like, Katrina, I wish that we had to make, like, a initiation video that Mary Kay had on file, because if we just played that, if we just had that playing, everyone would be like, "Okay, I can do this."
I showed a picture of me at my first new consultant training in San Francisco, and I looked like a Christmas tree. Like, I had red on top and green on bottom. I had green eyeshadow. My eyelashes were like this tall,
We were
and I
doing the
had
best we could.
big earrings. But here I am, right? It is so good, so good. And I'm definitely a little hot mess express because I have a new puppy, and so who knows what she's eating right now. All I hear is crunching, and there's
Oh
no
my
food on the floor. So in a minute, I'm like, I hope it's not a shoe or anything. Really do. The things that we do. So let's talk about you moving from California to Texas,
Mhm.
major lifestyle change. How did that impact you, and what has that meant for you? It takes a
Yeah.
lot of courage to uproot and kind of just totally change lifestyles, and I know you love it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm a California girl through and through. I love my home state, but as we were starting our family, I really wanted a slower pace, and I wanted kinda that country feel, and, things are slower in Texas, so we
Mhm,
prayerfully made that decision, but it was super scary because I had been in the Bay Area my entire life, but I remember, Katrina, when I moved, even though we didn't have any family here, I had so many Mary Kay family. Like, I mean,
mhm,
we had people that I didn't even know in Mary Kay that just showed up to like help us move. I remember
Mhm.
becoming shortly pregnant with our daughter after, and my baby shower was all these Mary Kay women that I had only met because I'd moved to Texas, and they all threw me a baby shower. And so even though I had left my family was also here. And that's something I love about the Mary Kay culture is that it extends so much beyond just our work. You know, it truly is part of your life and your lifestyle. It's friends for life that you make.
For sure. Total friends. You came in and you just have done everything big, like Texas. You should be in Texas because you did everything big. So, I mean, national sales director, 3 Offspring sales directors, climbed all the way to the top of this career. How does it feel to be able to support so many people in helping them to realize their dreams? Because it's not just the dreams we get to realize, but I love that we get to help others win so big. How does that feel?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, I don't think I know the Bible talks about stewardship so many times. And so that's how I've always viewed my business in every season, even down to when I had that very first team member, steward that team member just like it would be you were number one in Mary Kay, you had a national area. And so I really believe that even if you're starting small or just starting out, that stewardship is so important. If you show up at a party that there's one person there and there's 15 cats running around, I better present the same that I would at a party with 10 women who are super sharp at the table.
Mhm.
Because that's good stewardship. That's taking care of what God has given me. And so I think that's always been the position that I've led from is really self-evaluating and checking myself. Am I stewarding well what God has given me? Even sometimes when it's comical, right? Because we we sometimes have funny situations happen in our American business or hiccups, and
Uh-huh.
that helps get you in the attitude check too. Like when you have maybe an appointment that you drove to and it's not what you thought it was or whatever, like really, am I stewarding my heart well right now? Am I stewarding my thoughts in the direction that I'm, going by having this bad attitude? And so it's a good self-check test that I like to
Mhm.
use.
Mhm. How perfect is it that you found a company with God first, family second, career third? And I just love that all seasons of my life, I've been able to live my life in that order and still be successful in this business. Can you talk? So many people that are watching, guests and consultants lead teams. What do you think really fueled the kind of record breaking growth that your team had?
Definitely vision, for
Mhm.
sure vision. I mean, if you were to walk into my home during those seasons when I was really, really building, you knew what my goal was. I mean, I had pictures all over my wall. I remember when I was earning my very first trip to Greece, you could not come to my home and not see the word Greece. I mean, at one point, my husband thought it was funny. He taped it on the other side of like when you lift up the toilet lid, it said Greece. Like it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And I remember having someone come over and they were not in Mary Kay, and they made the comment like, "Your house is so pretty, and then you have all this, like, paper grease stuff everywhere that's kind of tacky." And I just
Uh-huh.
remember thinking, like, "You're not my person." You're not my person because you don't get it, you don't get it. And so I think putting it in front of my face was always really important. So vision, and then one thing, Katrina, my favorite thing I ever did, living in California, it's very expensive to own a home, and so
Mhm.
when you're starting out, it feels impossible, and there was this home in our like, near our home that we were renting, that was this beautiful tract home, and I remember it had a fireplace in the master bedroom. Now, why you'd want a fireplace in the master bedroom of a house in California, I don't know, but I was just mesmerized by that.
Yes.
And so on Wednesdays, I would go to that model home, and I would sit in the bedroom. You cannot sit on the bed, they're not real, they're cardboard boxes, so don't do that. I did that.
I've
Do not
seen
do
it on
that.
TikTok.
Yeah.
People fall through.
Nope, nope, no, I learned the hard way, and it was really embarrassing, but I would sit down on the floor by the fireplace, and I would make my booking calls and my appointments, and I did that for a year and a half, Katrina, every Wednesday, and a year and a half later, we bought that exact home.
Wow.
And it was because I needed to, like, and I'd walk into the house, I'd walk down the hallway, I'd walk up, and I acted like I owned it, and when people would, like, come by to look at the house, I would just pretend like I was, like, looking and, like, try not make it weird, but I'm just very visual like that, and so, when we came to Texas, we wanted land, I would go out and I would sit, probably illegally, in someone's field, with a blanket. I'm thinking about it's probably trespassing, but there was cows everywhere, it was fine, and I would just sit and I would look at my date book and make appointments and make phone calls, and I would do it from that field because I knew we wanted to have land, and then a couple years later, we were able to buy 11 acres on a beautiful property.
That is awesome. That is so good, you guys. Some love in the chat because that visualization is huge. The other thing that's really big is taking care of yourself. So, with such a busy life, and you can just leave it all on the table with your kids and husband and a whole national area, how do you take care of you? How do you take care of you? Make sure that Leah is good, healthy,
That's
mentally, physically,
yes.
spiritually.
It's so important. So now that I've crossed 40, things are happening.
Yeah.
Someone told me the other day it's called cougar puberty is what we're going through. I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." So I really have spent a good amount of time investigating my hormones and making that a priority. But there's little things that I do, Katrina, that I feel really, really does help. Like I love my sauna blanket. We don't have the space for a sauna, but I love my sauna blanket. So I do that a couple times a week, and that lowers my cortisol. So I do things like that. And then walking is my non-negotiable. I walk about 3 miles a day, and that's just me time like that. And I try to do. I learned this from
On
Mel
your
Robbins.
own property, or do you go
I
venture
go
out?
up the country road, I venture out, but I learned this from Mel Robbins. She said, "Take the first 15 to 20 minutes of your walk and do not listen to anything." Because you know how we are, like, we'll listen to, like, Boxer or podcasts because
Mhm,
we like to learn. She said,
mhm,
"Take the first 15 to 20 minutes and just be in silence." And that
mhm.
was very difficult the first time I did that, the first couple times, but now I love it. I love, like, retraining my brain to just be with my thoughts and be in silence because we are so often not in silence. I'm guilty of that. I love podcasts. I love audiobooks. I'm always listening. And I know we are consumers of information. We love to
Yeah,
learn. So getting silent has also really helped me to speed up and to center myself.
I love that. I love that. What advice would you give to homeschooling mamas out there on how to um, just any advice that you would give? Because you are, and maybe you are, because I haven't studied the typical homeschooling mama, but to just know who you are. Sometimes we have an image, it carries an image of that, and you're powerful. Your kids have amazing experiences. It's a whole vibe just to follow you on social when you do post and you see all the things and the parent and all the fun things that your kids bring to the table. So how did you embrace that and become just a master at being a homeschooling mama?
Yeah, so to me, I looked at it as hacking my children's education. For
Mhm,
us personally, I realized really quickly that I could not put my kids in the box. And it works for some people, right? Like public school, private school is great for some people. For my kids and how their brains worked, I could not put them in the box that is school. And so, what homeschooling allows us to do, and my Mary Kay influence allows us to do, is to individualize their educations. So they're all
mhm,
kind of on different tracks. And it's funny because people ask them what grade they're in and they don't know because they have like mixed curriculums. Like my son is only 13, but he's doing a senior in high school, like language arts and writing. He's a really gifted writer. And so I like that we can go to that speed. And I think because of my Mary Kay influence, I have learned that it is okay to set the bar high and to keep setting the bar and raising it. And then also insane entrepreneurial skills. They all own a business together, and they each make about $120 a month. So when
mhm,
you think about it, that's my 8-year-old. I mean, I wasn't
mhm.
making that at 8 years old, and again, that's from the Mary Kay influence and them seeing Mama be an entrepreneur. So to me, I think that's the beauty of homeschooling. It can be very hard some days, but it's also very liberating. We also get to do a lot what I call of heart schooling. So I think homeschooling allows us to hit pause and
Mhm.
take time to talk about heart issues that at the end of it all, right? Like math, science, they're all important, but the human beings that I'm raising and their character, that is what
Mhm.
matters the most. I'm raising someone's husband, I'm raising someone's wife. And so it has allowed us to slow down in that aspect and have those conversations and not feel rushed in those life lessons.
What a gift. What a gift. And for those of us that maybe are thinking, wow, what a gift. Now my kids are grown and gone, but we still got grandkids. Okay. We have
Yeah.
opportunities to have that kind of impact. How do you daily habits? One of the things that I think that I when I think about Leah Carta is your daily habits, your routine, your non-negotiables. And you talked a little bit about that, about how you walk consistently and how you're always thinking future focused. Can you
Mhm.
give any other just good habits? How do you, if you are not, for some folks that you're a hot mess express in the season. Some people, their life is just a little bit hot mess express in every area. How do you help people reel it in? If you want to get more control and more
Yeah.
focused and just, I want to be more, what, I don't know exactly what she has, but it's zen. Like, how do
Yeah.
I go from where I am in my mind and
Yeah.
get to that place?
So I think the first thing is to acknowledge that balance is not ever going to happen. We're never going to achieve balance, but we can achieve harmony. So
Mhm.
change the word from balance to harmony would be number one. The second thing is I used to pride myself in telling people what an awesome multitasker I was. And then I
Mhm.
realized down the road that that was actually not a thing to be proud of because it meant that I could not focus on one thing at a time. And so when I stopped multitasking, and I mean, think about it, like as moms, that's really difficult to do because you've got a million plates spinning with sports practices and theater and homeschooling and like all the things. But when I could make the conscious choice, I'm going to be in this moment with what I'm doing
Mhm.
and align that with, my family, but then also with my Mary Kay.
Mhm.
And this is where I think people have a hard time because their children are their world. They make their children their world. And I will drop anything and everything for my kids. But we've also set really healthy boundaries that they know when mom is working. That's what gives mom the flexibility to, be a work from home mom and be with them, where other moms might have to go out and work. I don't have to do that. And so they know they have to respect that boundary. And so unless, the house is on fire or someone's dying. And so, so that has really helped to teach them that. And for me to really honor that when I'm going to do my Mary Kay, I'm going to do my Mary Kay. When I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. What do you are probably in the center of your career, right? How many years have you been in Mary Kay now?
It was my 20-year anniversary on Saturday.
Wow, happy anniversary. And you have 25 more years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What do you see for yourself in this next season? What does that
Yeah.
look
So I'm really excited because I am an introvert, Katrina, believe it or not. And so, I mean, you'll see this happen at seminar. It's quite funny. Like you'll see by day 2, it looks like I want to shrivel because there's just a lot of people and I love everyone, but it's a lot. But what I
like?
love is like when we're back in the hotel room and we're chatting
Uh-huh.
in a small group and connecting, like I crave deep relationships. So it has been forecasted that this next generation coming up are some of the most their huge desire is to not repeat what their parents did. They saw their parents on a screen
Mhm,
and they want relationships and they want connection. And we are the goat. Is that what the kids say? We are the goat in Mary Kay.
mhm,
We invented that. Mary Kay Ash invented connection and treating people. And so the thought of that with this generation coming up and how lonely we used to have an average of 10 close friends. Now it's an average of 1.4 per
mm,
person. That's their close friends. And so how Mary Kay can be that bridge and Mary Kay can provide that outlet for people to create genuine connecting relationships.
mm,
That really excites me, Katrina. That excites me a lot.
mhm, and that leads me right into my last question, which was, why is Mary Kay right for the time, and how do we attract young people? How do we you've articulated what we offer. How do we make that
Yeah.
attractive?
Young women want mentorship. You
Mm,
know, I'm gonna say this, it's a sad reality, but a lot of them have moms that were very checked out because again, because of this.
mhm,
And so what I'm seeing is that young women, they want like a big sister, they want a motherly figure, and my pastor always talks about that at church, that like as a woman, you should be reaching up for mentorship and reaching back to pull someone up underneath you that's younger than you to mentor. And
mhm,
that is what Mary Kay, I mean, Katrina, you and I could sit here and talk for hours about the women that mentored us. And
mhm,
I think people are craving mentorship, and especially because with I love technology. Technology serves its purpose, but there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not genuine, connections or people that, "Yeah, connect with me, and then you're gonna pay $9.99 a month," or whatever, and so in Mary Kay, it's just very authentic and genuine, and it's relationship based, and
mhm,
so I think if we can continue to keep that, and I know that we will, because that was Mary Kay's mission, that really is gonna be what sets us above anything else, and so changing the conversation, and I think they're motivated by money, but I'm finding myself talking less about diamonds, I'm talking more about what do you want your circle to look like?
yeah. Even this, I mean, I would say that working with you is and a few people is how this came about. Early in my career, that's all I talked about was here's the car, here's the money, here's this. But it's this conversation. It's being able to say that we are genuinely friends, and that it's just I'm nearing the end of my career. You're in the middle, and yet we're connected for life, right? And it's just a joy. And I know there's guests that are watching. I do just want to share briefly how we make a little bit of cash and some quick fun facts, because there are people here that are like, okay, how do I get started? How do I get in this bubble? So we do make 50% of everything we sell. Whether you're a brand ambassador, you could do a little bit, you could do a lot, you could do it in person, you could do it online. Like no sales experience, we're going to teach you, we're going to show you. Flexibility, Leah's talked so much about that. I mean, whether you just want to do a couple hours a week, some people start as a hobby, others hustle, and some people part-time, and then you can create a full-time gig. But honestly, there are people, right, Leah, who do this full-time who still are not full-time. Full-time in Mary Kay doesn't even always mean 40 hours a week. Don't get us wrong. There's seasons of our career where we have been, going to the executive level where we've put it all on the floor. But I love to say that it's because it's not like renting a home. It's like I'm buying a home. So when you're pushing for that down payment or whatever, you know that what the end is going to mean. So there's seasons that I've worked really, really hard, but I love today, dentist in the middle of the day, and then this and this. I just put my makeup on 30 minutes before we jumped on here, right? So it's just a joy that it can look like that. Dual marketing concept. We're not multi-level, not a pyramid company, direct retail sales. Buy for $5, sell for $10. And our company's based right out of Dallas, Texas. Could we talk any more about the collaboration, the fact that it's a sisterhood and a brotherhood? There are some men as well, but you own your own business, but you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So collaboration is huge. There are rewards. So don't get me wrong. I appreciate all the diamonds that I've earned. You can take the cash. You can, we take trips, and it's really exciting. Leah and I have hit several continents together on Mary Kay. There is the car program, which is huge. And now, if you choose to take the cash, you can take monthly compensation, and just really sweet. That pink Cadillac now is just getting sweeter and sweeter. The number one question people always want to know is, do you have a pink Cadillac? And we can show you how to get one. And so there you go. There is a little bit about the Escalade. So I just want to tell you guys that if you are here today and watching, we're going to give away some cash, but it is only $35 to get started. I guess I should have finished with that piece right here. The eStart is just $35. It's crazy. Both Leah and I paid $100. Now it's $35. If you want to, you can upgrade for $90 and get some full retail size product. So this is really cool. I am so grateful that we got to hear some of your story, and always in Mary Kay fashion, I love hearing I know you love all the products, but tell us one product you really love right now. Like just one thing.
The dynamic wrinkle limiter am I even saying it? It's just so many words. That one.
It's our new, and it's fabulous. It has retinol. Your beauty consultant will tell you all about it. I think we have a special. Do we have that up? So it's tonight's special, and here it is. Okay. So actually, this is the special we have today. We love the dynamic wrinkle limiter also. And this is our retinol 0.3, which is really cool. And talk to your beauty consultant about this, and she'll talk to you also about the Clinical Solutions boosters, because you purchased our Clinical Solutions retinol or the dynamic wrinkle limiter. So it could be either one of those, and you can add on one of our boosters for 50%, whether you need help with lines or hydration or brightening or resurfacing. Oh, we got you, boo. Okay. We got things for your eyes to your thighs and your lips to your hips. So all the things. And we also have some cash to give away. So we're going to spin the wheel. There's going to be one beauty consultant whose guest gets a little bit of cash, and that beauty consultant reach out to me, and we will hit will hit your guest's Venmo or Cash App. So here we go. Let's see who the winner is. Cheer them on. Here it goes. There's a lot of people that have multiple entries. You can get entered in lots of different ways, and the winner is, always love to see, Let's see. Oh, that is crazy. Okay. I know this feels like it's a setup. Dorothy, is that a setup? Like my own guess.
Nope, it was random.
Okay, y'all, I really am a beauty consultant and I don't get any cash. It goes to my consultant, my customer. Kim Pinson lives in Antioch. She has been a consultant. Now she's one of my loyal customers and she is a Voluform customer. She uses it. She loves it. I don't think Kim is watching, but I'm going to hit your Cash App, Kim. So tag her, Kim Pinson, Cash App coming your way. Leah, I want to give you the final just the final say, anything that you want to share. We are going into holiday. This is a great season to get started. And so anything that you just want to share with us before we go.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I want to share, Katrina, right now we're seeing what I call the rise of the med spa. And the med spa is one of the best things that has ever happened to Mary Kay because women want high quality products, but they don't want to pay the money. They don't. And that's where Mary Kay is so brilliant. You guys, we have our I always say it the wrong thing, R3, R4 facility, whatever it is, where they research, develop all the things. And we are selling a med spa grade quality product. The fact that we have retinol, like that's what you're getting at the med spas. So I just want you to know if you're either a customer or a consultant, like now is the time to do Mary Kay because you're going to get it at a great price. I love being my best customer. Not to mention, Katrina, like all of my shopping, I put out my shopping list for the holidays and it's all Mary Kay because I'm part of a wholesale club with Mary Kay. I can buy it wholesale. So I'm giving those as gifts for our homeschool co-op teachers, for relatives, my sister, my sister-in-law, everyone is getting Mary Kay, and our holiday line is so fantastic. And consultants, do not pay for Christmas. Have a cash Christmas with your Mary Kay business. You have an ATM machine. I'm excited to start playing out my Christmas. We're going to surprise the kids with a trip, and my Mary Kay is going to fund it, my Mary Kay sales. And so I love treating this like an ATM machine. I've always done it that way. So make sure you're capitalizing on this selling season. I don't want you to miss out on that.
Yeah, I've heard you say so much, and I actually, not being blessed to give birth to kids of my own, but I believe I've copied you and others that talk about I pay for experiences.
Yeah.
And with our 14 grandkids, that's exactly what we do is experiences. So can't wait to follow that.
You guys sell a lot, Katrina. You're going to be selling a lot.
No, I got a lot, 14 of them. And they're older, so they want big stuff. So
Yeah.
they want the cash, the trip, and all the things.
Yep.
So thanks so much for joining. I want to remind everyone who's watching, November 2nd, we are doing a holiday workshop. So November 2nd, you can go to themagic.pink. Go to themagic.pink. It'll be posted on my fan page. We should have had that flyer up here, but just themagic.pink, and you can register for that holiday workshop. And we'll show you exactly some additional tips on making some cash. Thanks, Leah, for hanging out with us at the pink table. She was phenomenal. Post in the chat what you love the most, whether you're watching live or replay. And congratulations to Kimberly Pinson, our winner. Love y'all. Bye-bye.